Morning, say go. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's seasonal cooking video. This week we'll be making baked blueberry oatmeal cups. For this week's recipe, you're going to need old-fashioned rolled oats, baking powder, milk, eggs, honey, vanilla, and fresh blueberries. Before we get started with our baked blueberry oatmeal cups, be sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. It's also really important to make sure that you wash your blueberries. So take some time now to give them a really good rinse. And then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so we've washed everything and now we're going to get started. So in addition to the ingredients, we're also going to use 2 different sized mixing bowls. We're going to use a whisk, and I've got 3 different sized measuring cups, 1 cup, a half a cup, and this is half a teaspoon. So I'll be using it twice for anything that we need a full teaspoon of. Looks like we've got everything, so I guess we can get started. Grab your large mixing bowl. We're going to use this bowl for our dry ingredients. So the first thing we're going to add into this is our old-fashioned rolled oats, and for this we're going to use 3 cups. It's important when you're making this particular recipe to use old-fashioned rolled oats rather than quick oats. Next, we'll add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and again, I'm using a half teaspoon here, so I'm going to go ahead and do it twice. Once you have the oats and the baking powder in the bowl, go ahead and give it a good mix. We want to make sure that these 2 ingredients are mixed well together. Once you're happy with your mixing, you can swap bowls. So we're going to use this small bowl here for our wet ingredients. Let's start out with the eggs. I like to do this just because if by any chance we happen to get a shell, we're not adding it into the rest of our wet ingredients right away. Another way to make sure that we're not getting any shells is to crack our eggs into a different container like this small little glass bowl I'm using here, and shockingly enough, I got both eggs with absolutely no shells. Now we're going to add 1 cup of milk. The recipe calls to use skim milk, so that's what you probably received in your kit. However, you can feel free to use whatever milk you typically have at home. This can also be done with almond milk or any other non-dairy milk as well. Now we're going to add in this ooey gooey superfood called honey. Go ahead and measure out half a cup. I'm hoping that I have half a cup here in this bottle, but I'm not too sure. Oh no, I am the tiniest bit short. Give me 1 minute. I have another bowl or another bottle on hand. Okay, thank goodness for stocked pantries. Now we'll pour in our half cup of honey, and we'll give it a couple shakes and a few extra seconds just to make sure we get as much as we can out of the measuring cup. Next, we'll add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now it's time to mix it up. So here you can see I'm using a whisk. I do come to realize partway through this that the whisk that I'm using is just way too big for such a small bowl. And I'm not sure what's happening with the honey here, but it doesn't seem to be mixing in very well. I'm gonna swap out this much too large whisk for a fork and see how we do this way. Yeah, this seems to be working much better. Go ahead and keep whisking. Eventually, I promise you will notice that the honey starts to mix in well with the rest of the ingredients. Oh, I still see a few little egg yolks. All right, so now I think I'm ready. Wooden spoon. Need a wooden spoon, or any kind of spoon. Go ahead and pour your wet ingredients into the dry ingredient mixture. Now we're going to go ahead and stir until all of our oats are coated with the liquid mixture. You can see that not all of the liquid is getting absorbed. That's totally okay. We don't want it to be absorbed right away, and this is one of the benefits of using the whole rolled oats. Now for the star of this week's recipe, our blueberries. We're making these baked blueberry oatmeal cups in honor of Blueberry Moon, which happens to be this month. So we've mixed everything in well. I am going to tidy all of this up and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so next step, we've got to transfer everything over into our muffin tray. So for this, we're going to use a muffin tray. I'm going to use cooking spray because I don't have any muffin cup liners today. If you do, go ahead and feel free to use those. And if not, go ahead and use the spray. You can see that it still does look a little moist. I've got a tablespoon and I've also got an ice cream scoop. I prefer the ice cream scoop. Go ahead, take your cooking spray and make sure you get all of your muffin cups ready and covered in that cooking spray because we will be filling these cups right up to the top. Everything is covered evenly, so I feel like I'm ready to go. So go ahead and scoop out some of your mixture. And as I mentioned earlier, we are going to make sure that we fill these muffin cups right up to the top. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit for us here. And no, I really don't work this fast. This is one of the beauties of being able to edit the videos that we make. So no, you don't have to go this fast. There's no pressure. Take your time and fill your cups right up to the top. So this recipe will allow for 12 muffin cups. As you can see here, I've still got a little bit of liquid as well as quite a few oats and some blueberries still in the bowl. So I'm just going to scrape down the sides and add them in anywhere where it looks like the cups could use a little extra. Don't let any of this yummy deliciousness go to waste. And again, make sure that you use all of that liquid that's in the bottom of the bowl. Once you've got all 12 cups filled, you can go ahead and transfer them into the oven. You're going to want to bake them for approximately 20 minutes or until the tops of the oats are a light toasted brown and the oats are cooked through. So it's important to note that the inside of the cups should be soft but not mushy. So depending on your stove at home, it may take a little longer. I know for us, it took about 25 to 28 minutes here. So once you have removed your oats from the oven, they're going to look a little something like this. Go ahead and let them cool, and then we'll get to taking them out of the muffin cups. Okay, so we have let our blueberry oatmeal cups cool enough so we can go ahead with either a small spatula or a butter knife. You're going to take your butter knife and you're just going to go around the edge of each individual oatmeal cup. And as long as you have put enough cooking spray on your pan, you should be able to have them pop right out like I'm doing here. Now, if I break this open, here's what it looks like on the inside. And there you've got your own baked blueberry oatmeal cups. So let's just review. Here is a list of the ingredients you'll need. And here are all of the instructions, just so you have them easily accessible in the event that you would like to go ahead and make this recipe again. I hope you enjoy this recipe as much as we do, and until next time, Ona!